this is the match made in heaven.
I don't know.
Rubik is something that we've seen, I mean, throughout the tournament to great avail. Both of these teams have played a lot of Rubik, but paired up with something that we haven't seen nearly as much, Lizard.
Yeah, Centaur Rubik is an old school combo already on the lane. You have the lift into the stomp. Right now, Centaur isn't played as much, but I think the hero is pretty solid. You have a bunch of burst damage coming into that safe lane. And you're playing versus Enchantress, so you're going to be able to just, you know...
I would agree the Centaur is solid. He's definitely got a lot of legs to stand on.
Yeah, very good, Rich. Very good. But I must say that Centaur is typically picked up later in the draft as like a escape mechanism too. Like we need these guys are super invested and we need a disengage mechanism. Picking them early, you just work around that now. So
I agree completely. You had those heroes that are that would get picked up against Centaur because he was top tier pick for like a few months, and then Mars came into the game, and people would always pick Mars versus him because he uses Stampede. You just pop that arena, you can't run out. You're just banging the wall. So that could be a pretty solid pick for Omegalil. But these two heroes that they picked, if they're supports, they don't really bring a lot to that arena. Usually you want some big AoE ulti around, some Disruptor or Phoenix or whatever.
I mean, both teams trying to still be versatile right now. I mean, Tiny is that classic, could go mid, could be support, could be carry guy. And same thing with Enchantress. You could get that support Enchantress, even though it's not that good, or you could get that damage dealer. So they're kind of playing some mystery games here, Rich.
Yeah, very excited to see where this one does go. I think early on, we were looking on the side of Omegalil. Their draft was making a lot of sense. I feel like it really did fall apart when the Monkey King came into the fray. What are you guys looking for overall in their draft? Is there anything in particular where you're saying, okay, Omegalil, please go in this direction after that last game?
Well, this time around, sorry, Slash.
No, please.
They just have to be careful with their safe lane again. They weren't in that last game. This time around, you have Enchantress. That's usually a hero that does dominate the lane. You dominate some creeps, you bring them to the lane, you...
Literally dominate,
literally, however, you are playing versus Rubik and Centaur, and this combo is really difficult to deal with right now, so be very careful about what you pick for your carry. Please, no Monkey Kings.
Here's a fun fact about Enchantress, Rich, you might not know. The laughter of her wisps are actually, and this is real, sped up and pitch inverted screaming from children. It's true.
How did they record the
I'm just kidding. That's not true at all. But what if it was, dude? Wouldn't that be weird?
Oh my god, it was terrible.
I believe you for a second.
Oh my god. No, man, we'll give you a real...
imagine somebody slowing it down. Let me out!
I'll give you a real fact, though. Pugna, his voice, is actually two voice actors together. It is a like oldie man and then a super young kid mixed into one. You can tell if you listen for it, and that's because his lore is like he's a Dalai Lama. An old wizard died, and he like goes into a new vessel every time that he dies, and they found him in like a like a 4-year-old kid. So it's like a mix, and I think it might even be a girl's voice, a young girl's voice.
So he went into a small kid and died as a child? And
no, he's the Dalai Lama. When he dies, he reincarnates.
I understand, but why is he...
Because like his fucking like old wizard voice is still coming out.
It's like when Aang goes into the Avatar state.
Still, again,
and then every single voice talks all at once.
I have no idea what you're talking.
Oh, I did see that movie, the M. Night Shyamalan movie. I don't know why everyone likes that series so much. It was pretty bad. Sorry, guys, but
Ozai, you have Furion. How do you feel about it? I feel like we've been seeing this hero get locked in more and more as we've been moving through this tournament.
It's a hero that Omegalil have picked before as well. I believe they played it mostly on the mid lane. It doesn't really show a lot, like you're keeping your cards open. This Nature's Prophet can be on safe lane, can be mid, so overall it's a decent pick. You already have heroes that deal with your split pushing quite well, though. You have Rubik and Centaur.
No?
Yeah, it's important not to show you. Sorry, I was going to make another Yu-Gi-Oh reference, but I hate myself.
Yeah.
Hey, the second you said cards, I was like, I can do it again. I actually despise myself so much.
Right.
Okay, Troll.
Hey, and there's the Pugna that I predicted earlier, so that's great.
Good job.
Troll Warlord coming out.
Yeah, that's why the Pugna is picked up as well. Like I believe you said on the first panel that Cyberium seed pick a lot of Troll.
Yep.
They picked it this time around, but they instantly get countered by the Pugna. This is a hero that makes Troll's life living hell. You decrepify him or the target he goes on.
We really haven't seen that much Pugna.
Nah, Pugna suffers in this meta a little bit because it is a very run-at-you meta.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Pugna does great when he's not the focus, but, I mean, whew.
All the clockworks that were picked up, literally your position 4 at any given point in the game kills that Pugna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a hard game for a Pugna to play overall. And even in here you have now Oracle that deals with you pretty much with every single spell, with Purge or
Sure.
with Fate's Edict or with False Promise. And then you have Centaur that can use that Stampede that we talked about earlier to get on top of you and just stomp you into the ground. So.
But I don't know, man. I really do think that this draft is a result of that Centaur. Like, locking yourself into that Centaur early allows for stuff like a Pugna because, you know, what's going to happen? They're going to sprint at you and go completely dive that Pugna? Maybe, but, I mean, Treant Protector does great things with that, too. They go all in on Pugna, and then Treant pushes. So, I don't know. I'm not
Treant?
excuse me.
Nature's Prophet.
Nature's Prophet. They're both Treants
Yeah, they're...
to me.
Yeah.
Makes
You know?
sense.
Yes.
Checks
Very
out.
similar, very similar. What's the lore there? Are they connected, Nature's Prophet and Treant?
So, Furion was... may I go on, Slacks?
No, don't talk about
Tawanda.
Dota 1 lore. It's not canon.
Tawanda.
No, don't do that. But, yeah,
You
go ahead.
know that Treant is actually Nature's Protector from...
Shut up! God, you guys are so stupid.
It's just uprooted Treant Protector.
It is technically in the lore, however, that planet has been destroyed. It is the planet...
That's what I was waiting for. Come on,
Yes, it's
shed
the-
some light.
It is the sister planet of the Dota planet, as revealed in Planetfall. The Dota 1 universe was reeled and destroyed in a cataclysmic event from a bad guy we have yet to see. I'm sure, much like Aghanim, instead of actually building up a big bad, they'll just get bored and have him be a fucking event. You know how depressing that was? The biggest mystery in Dota 2 since the beginning of the lore. Aghanim. What happened to Aghanim? Where has he been? What has he been doing? Oh my god, they reveal him. He made a zoo. That's what he did, Lizard. He made a goddamn zoo. Isn't that cool? What if Jesus came back and he's like, guys, I know I've been gone for a while. Here's a petting zoo. I got 4 sheep and a goat. What do you think would happen to the world's religion? Because that's what it did to my religion, the Dota 2 lore.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. What else
Doesn't make any sense!
Yes, it does.
Sorry.
Think about it.
Here comes-
If you have all the power in the world,
Let it
what is
all
there
out.
to do
Let
but
it
to
all out.
collect and observe and to try to understand, even if you are some
That's
great
not what he
celestial
did.
body? He made a menagerie.
No, he made a battle zone. It was as if I collected a bunch of snakes. What if Jesus came into your room and unleashed snakes upon you while you're sleeping and said, fight them now!
Finally,
Would you be able to explain that in any way?
finally a purpose. Thank
Yes.
you, Jesus.
Thank you, my lord.
Thank you for the snakes, Jesus.
Oh, they hurt.
Oh,
I will
Jesus.
sacrifice as you did.
Oh,
I'm
Jesus.
sorry, we need to move on.
please continue.
God damn it. But anyway, yes.
Uh,
Why? Why have they done this? Suffice it to say, Kunkka picked up there. I like the Kunkka.
yeah,
A powerful pick. I mean, it got a lot of...
it crushes Nature's Prophet mid.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
the thing, right? If you are thinking about playing this MP mid, the Kanka deals with him very well, but you could put Pugna perhaps on the mid lane. The problem is you still have that level, like that point in the game in which you X marks the spot him, set up the gank. Kanka would be pretty good on the other team as well, though, because of that same stampede that we were talking about. You can catch him and bring them back.
Yeah. And that is pretty great against Pugna, too. I mean, massive magical damage and a mix of nice cleave damage as well to be able to make sure that he can't get all the stuff that he wants to. And again, we're talking about, like, the focus aspect of both Enchantress and Pugna. Why though? Why Timbersaw?
They don't have any ways of dealing with Timber, actually. So that's good.
I guess so.
They really don't. Maybe in the laning stage you can burst him down, but overall this looks like a pretty good free Timber game.
Sure.
Last Troll gets something like a diffusal, gets on top of you and just locks you down.
But who's like your late game boy? Who's the
Nature's
big carry?
Prophet. That's
It's
what
just
you're
Prophet?
Yeah, that's what
Okay.
you're thinking about. You're thinking Nature's Prophet. But I don't like the draft. I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't like it that much. I like this last pick more than the Monkey King in the
I
first
will
game.
admit that.
I'll give them that.
All right, so liking it aside, which one do you favor? Are you on the side of Seed, or do you stand with Omegalil?
This Timber really isn't easy to kill, but I'm gonna go with Seed again. I think they're more hungry for this win, man. I think they're drafting to actually do something in these games and win. Omegalil looks like they're here to have fun.
I don't know. I mean, Omegalil's draft is a little bit better than last time. I think that the Centaur needs to do exceptionally well. Troll's going to have a rough game thanks to the Pugna. But I like Timber when there's no natural diffusal builders. I'll say that. So, no PL. It'd be stupid if Troll got a diffusal, so this one could go either way.
Okay. Going to be looking at the Centaur a lot. Going to be looking at that Troll a lot. But I think last time we had a pretty tough game on the side of Omegalil. Do you think that really showcased how they are playing? Because we keep going back to the fact that, Cyberium does look hungry. I think that's what we're going to find out very quickly here as we jump into the second game. If it was just a draft that got away from them, or if Cyberium Seed's going to cruise to a quick 2-0.
Hello. Welcome back. It's us again.
Yes, we're a bunch of hungry hippos for this game 2 of Cyberium Seed versus Omegalil.
I wasn't done my introduction.
Oh, I apologize.
You interrupted.
There was too much downtime. I couldn't handle the dead air.
No. That was the intent.
Okay, I apologize.
Okay.
Reset. Go again.
Hello. It is I. I will be your caster for this evening. I'm here with my analyst, capitalist.
What are we doing? A cast on NPR?
I was trying to go for like the pilot thing, I'm like a pilot and you're the stewardess.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to NPR. Here we're exploring an article on Cyberium Seed, the powers and wonders of nature and how it can help you lead a more fulfilling life.
Here we see a wild mastermind. He does plant down a word. This is a traditional mating ritual for a...
Now this is a nature's documentary.
Is that
Keep on
what
switching up on me.
I thought the N in NPR...
David Attenborough.
I thought the N in NPR was nature. Is that
We talk
golf?
about politics.
Oh, it's politics.
It's the radio station in America that talks about politics.
There's probably a lot of those. America's all about their politics.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, what was that Jesus thing? That was pretty...
So what if Jesus came back and attacked you with snakes?
With the snakes.
Oh, God.
I don't know. I'm glad I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh! For the first panel. I don't know what was going on. Okay, so we actually have an off-lane Pugna in this game with a mid-Timber versus the Kunkka. Should be a favorable matchup for that Timber Saw. Bottom lane, Nature's Prophet carry. There's your late game answer. Do you think that's enough? Do you think late game Nature's Prophet could actually carry this game?
I don't believe so, no. But I think it's more likely that they're trying to reach a point where this Nature's Prophet has the net worth advantage and he is able to get an Orchid onto this. I think one of their best timings is going to be Orchid before the Troll has BKB, as an example. Unfortunately, they already have a really good counter to that and just overall incredible laning partner with Troll in the Oracle. By far one of the best supports you can ask for because he deals with any silences that are usually an issue for you. He saves you from a lot of burst damage, whether it's with the Magic Immunity or the False Promise, and always ensures you get off your ultimate. But in turn, Omegalil do have an answer to the Troll ultimate. Oh, nice toss. That's to take out that healing salve. Really well done.
Yeah, very annoying. Even with that reduced toss range, Zero has been nerfed a few times. Deny coming out on Sam. Nice range creep deny there. Used to be able to get those a lot easier with Centaur when you had that aura.
Yeah.
Retaliate.
Just activate it and take an entire wave worth of CS, both denies and last hits.
Yep, that was great. Those were the days.
Those were the days. But yes, Malik is going to be very key here in providing successful team fights against this Troll. The Decrepify is going to be really important, and it'll be interesting to see how Pubert does because he was such an incredible Snapfire, and he's got such an important position. He could be really impactful because this Purge is useful for so many things, one of which is going to be that Decrepify.
This is true, and funny enough, he was playing Snapfire and doing quite a bit of setting up in the last game. Not a hero you would expect somebody to do that on. Maybe we'll see the same thing out of Oracle. It might be the bane of his existence this game if he tries to do that. Seems like just about the worst hero to run at people and set up for your team.
Yeah, it is really interesting that him and the other player who goes by the name Alita as one of them, which is, I found the easiest name to say. I don't know if he wants to be called that. instead of a bunch of Chinese characters. I've also heard of Grim Reaper. Not sure if that's actually right,
That's
though.
a cool name.
That is a cool name.
Lil taking a lot of damage. He does have the salve. He's been ferrying out regen. He knew he was going to take quite the beating up here. Sam, speaking of beating, he is losing a lot of HP, and the Enchantress Right-Click actually gets it. I'm surprised. That looked like that was a little bit more HP than she does damage, but she
It's
must have gotten
the
a high
double
roll.
fairy fires that he's gotten, which he's going to put to good use here, trying to finish off this Rubik. They're going to get both kills. Happy. He's a happy boy.
It's basically a mirror of the last game. You have this absolutely devastating safe lane. Double kill to start. I don't think there's any coming back from that.
Nice toss back into the nuke there from the Pugna.
Mid lane. Timber favored, of course, but Kunkka's not doing too bad.
I really like this play. Happy, like he wanted to deny himself to the tier 2 so he could reset, but he actually grabbed an Eagle Song Ripper from the enemy hard camp, so that's denying them farm. But it also means he's going to have a presence in the lane while he's still dead.
Very
nice.
nice.
Like 10 seconds, that Wild Wing Ripper is going to be in lane doing stuff.
Yeah, forces the Rubik to use that lift. Not something that you really want to do, but you have to do it. Oh, such a hard lane for Mastermind. Timber can definitely kill Kunkka if you're not careful.
Yeah, and I wasn't like super happy with the Kunkka pick in the first place. I think they felt like they needed.
Yeah, there you go, just
God.
like that. Literally Whirling Death, that's all you need. 3 Whirling Deaths and Kunkka is dead. Like usually you play up in people's face with this hero because he's so tanky, but that is exactly what Timber wants you to do.
Yeah, this a underfarmed Kunkka is going to look just terrible in this game because I think they felt like they needed some extra catch for the troll to be able to play around. It's a really nice team fight presence, buffing everybody up, but Omegalil, they have some infinite sources of damage, right? Like Timbersaw and Pugna are some of those damage representatives, which if you just, if they're going to fight back into you, you have unlimited damage to pump out.
Yeah, as long as you've got the disable there, they will do the damage.
Yeah.
And it looks like, I mean, the game's going very well for them so far. They have this 2K advantage. They have a laning advantage, so they should get a bunch of bounties. Mastermind, he tries to go for the Torrent. He gets it off, but this is still a level 6 Timber. You have to be super careful. He's zoning him off the creep wave here. That's really the big deal. He might end up killing him, and Centaur goes down on the bot lane as well. Mastermind, he's losing all of these creeps into the tower. That's the worst thing here. It's not even about the pressure, the kill. Rubik taking some damage on the bot lane. They have enough creeps to tank the tower that he actually does go down. 6-1, 3K net worth lead at 5 minutes. This is a stomp.
Yeah, this is just awful. Once again, feels like the laning phase is just going to determine the entirety of the game. Because Cyberium, they're going to have this late game troll, and it'll feel good at 40 minutes. But until then, especially with the net worth lead, oh god, the troll.
He has the raindrop. It does protect him for a while. The body blocks come up from Lil. He is just turning around and man-fighting against the Tiny. He does actually end up getting the kill. Rubik comes in with a nice rotation. Malik is looking very confused. All right, I'll toss in some right-clicks here. That looked like a kill, but I guess my guy is dead. And now it looks like Malik, he is really pushing it to its limits here. Gets lifted, it's a short lift, but with the Decrepify, it's enough damage, and Sam on the bot lane. He is left alone because that Rubik rotated towards that top lane. He's getting body blocked up by the trees. Stomp comes out. Enchantress throws a long-range impetus, but given that it's only a low-level spell, it doesn't do that much damage, and he does have a salve because he knew he was going to be alone here.
So things are about to get real rough for Cyberium because now they've got level 7 on Sunlight. He's got his ultimate, and on top of that, the Furion's going to hit his level 6 soon. So they're going to be losing their mid tower pretty quickly because they don't have an answer to this Timbersaw. Nobody can actually lane against this Timbersaw and feel good. Not the Centaur, not the Kunkka. Troll, maybe at some point in time he would have felt okay about it initially, but now not so much anymore. Like, he can't pressure the Timbersaw in the slightest,
No way.
right?
You need like a Monkey King bar before Timber will die to you. Like this Timber pick really sealed the deal, I think. This
They've
made
got
the
no
lane
magic
so
damage whatsoever to really threaten Timbersaw.
nothing. So all they're doing is they're just trying to go for the wave cut. They're trying to just pull the wave away, but Sunlight, he's not having. He's saying, okay, if you're going to do this, you're going to take a lot of damage for this. I'm going to make this not worth it. In fact, you're going to die. Mastermind, he tries to come in and push out that wave, just delaying the Timber's push. But man, you have to delay for a long time in this game if you want to make this work against the Timbersaw. They're losing all of their towers.
As counterintuitive it is to current Dota strategy, I think you have to give up this mid tower, and I think Mastermind needs to be playing in one of the side lanes here and setting up kills on either the Pugna or on the Nature's Prophet. Like, the Nature's Prophet is also really scary right now. And I think NP, like, I feel better about Nature's Prophet mid and safe lane than I do off lane right now. I think this hero does so much when he gets a net worth advantage.
Yeah, I think you're right. Why do you think that, Mr. Capitalist Dota?
Mostly because I feel like the Nature's Prophet, as we watch this real quickly here.
Lift comes out onto the Nature's Prophet. This would be a big kill. This is the carry. Puber is holding his spells because he can just TP out just like that. And it looks like the turnaround comes in. Lil TP's bot. Malik is bot as well. Puber ends up dying. He does not have that Fate's Edict. I believe that's what the spell is called. It protects from magic damage. But this hero is very confusing with the names of the spells. Troll getting stunned up by the Enchantress Creep. Very annoying. Just pressuring him, making sure that he cannot farm. We talked about him basically being the only hero that can eventually deal with the Timber. You keep him down, you're going to win this game. Anyway, you're saying about Nature's Prophet, you don't think he's a good offlaner?
Basically,
compared to the other roles?
as in I feel better about his mid to safe lane, and part of that is because of some changes that have happened. Nature's Prophet traditionally has just not been a good team fighter.
Speaking of Nature's, TP possibly coming out onto the Rubik. It doesn't even look like they need it. I think Lil and Malik get this kill.
They just easily get him without him. He doesn't provide any, like, he used to not provide a very good nuke. He didn't have any disable. He was just a right-click force. So what you wanted to do was outnumber the enemy. You wanted to outmaneuver them, and then once they're out of position, outnumber them in team fights. That's how you won fights with Nature's Prophet.
Speaking of outnumbering, Mastermind is actually here in Viz. They didn't know, but Nature's Prophet TP's in. The boat comes out onto 2. Malik, can he heal? Toss in. Or out, I guess, because Nature's Prophet's actually saving him. Mastermind picks up the kill onto Tiny. Timbersaw is here. He's going to probably Whirling Death him to death. One more hit, and he is dead. Puber manages to get away, but this is going to be a lot of pressure on the top tower with the Timber and the Nature's Prophet here. I don't know how you could defend this.
Our Troll is level 6, by the way, and I don't think he leveled up his ultimate.
I don't know if he can. I feel like he's got to be greedy.
Yeah,
I feel
probably.
Like he's not... He's got to get some, like, he's literally the only way to deal with the Timber other than maybe a Vessel on the Kunkka, but his game is so rough because he was laning against the Timber.
Yeah, and if he's going to go for that, which I don't think is the wrong idea, he's just in the wrong part of the map, right? This is the most likely area for him to be invaded. I think he's just got to play mostly in his triangle and stuff, or play with the Oracle behind him, because otherwise he's just going to get hunted down like a dog.
Dude, maybe even playing the enemy triangle at this point. Like, I feel like you need to do some very intelligent next level smoke.
Oh god, they're gonna get sandwiched.
Sunlight, he comes in. Look at that Whirling Death damage with the Pugna. The stab reduction is just too much. Mastermind gets tossed in by Lil. Big impetus coming out, but really all the damage that's needed is coming from Sunlight. I feel like the other heroes are largely irrelevant with how huge this Timbersaw is, who does pick up a haste rune on the bot lane. So now, wherever he goes, death will follow. He's like Jesus with the snakes at this point.
He coming to get you.
He is.
Yeah, this is getting close to, like, we haven't even seen the first round of items from Omegalil. They're just about to get them. Once we get, like, I think Timbersaw is going to go for an early Bloodstone here, just because he's so far ahead. Once the Nature's Prophet gets Orchid, he becomes like a really strong force. That's what I was leading into, is that basically Wrath of Nature being buffed up means that getting an early level 6 is really impactful right now. So that's one reason to give him safer farm.
Yep.
And more solo experience. And then the other one is this has just kind of always been the place, but Nature's Prophet, when he works well in forcing fights, is when he's got a really big net worth lead. When he's got that fast Orchid before you've even considered BKB.
Yeah, speaking of forcing fights, Lil Pleb, he is not dead, actually. He looks like he's perfectly fine. The boat comes out. Can they kill this Timber? Do they have enough burst damage with the axes? They do. He's a little bit too deep. All 5 heroes, 3v5.
Yeah, when you go the Kaya first, when you're going Bloodstone instead of stat build, you don't, like, they have some magic damage, right? Most of which would be negated by 1 Hood of Defiance.
Just
but
get a hood, you're
not
immortal.
for that. Yeah, like, you do need to protect your own advantage when you're Timbersaw. Otherwise, you get into the strongman syndrome, and you're like, nobody can kill me, look where I go. All of a sudden, you're surrounded by 5 heroes, and you just get disabled and eventually killed.
So two things. Number one, okay, actually, Mastermind, can he get the long-range X off? No, he can't. I thought maybe he'd go for a Torrent. Not willing to use the spell for that. But I think Nature's Prophet, back to your Nature's point, I think also the carry items that Nature's builds is really good. Like Master Mat, great item. Orchid is super strong.
Yeah.
But as an offlaner, you don't necessarily want to get that. You need somebody to build hoods, pipe, hoods, vanguards, whatever, like these sorts of things, Vlads. And I think those are just worse items. Like, if you can get a fast Orchid on any hero, it's just super powerful right now. Natures is one of those heroes that loves Orchids. And
That's a very astute point. You could be an analyst.
Thank you very much. And back to the Timber, I think, I honestly think Bloodstone Timber is awful. I think the only reason that it's,
Even if you're super far ahead, you're still like, nope, that's not the play.
I think it's insanely greedy. My opinion, oh, Lil Pleb actually goes down solo to Malik on the top lane. Oh no, that is not good. That is very not good. He is level 10 now. Mastermind, he gets tossed into the Timber
I love
Saw.
these tosses into the Chakrams. Lil just keeps on pumping them out.
It is such, what a snowball, man. You have your troll on the other side of the map, dying solo to the enemy offlaner. Rubik gets tossed up again, Lil with the tosses. Anyway, more importantly, back to this Timber. Yeah, I think Bloodstone is dog shit. I think this hero has enough mana with the mana talent and the items that give you tankiness, such as this guy is not tanky enough. Can he pop the ulti? He's not interested in using it. He trusts in the Fate's Edict. Little Pleb comes in. He wants to retaliate for the kill that happened to him earlier. He can't get the root, though. He is not happy with his RNG. And on the back line, Samsam has to use the Stampede. He runs all the way away. Malik, he goes in. He is sucking, but unfortunately with the Oracle ult, it actually doesn't heal you because you're not technically doing any damage. That is unfortunate. You maybe could have survived that. Anyway, Timbersaw, tanky items give you mana. That's my whole argument here. Every single time, as an offlane Timber, maybe I'll say, you know, it's rough. Little Pleb, he literally just, okay, so he does pop the ulti, but he dies to the ward. That's what happened there. Because that is surprisingly for a hero that has literally the lowest int gain in the game. He has a pretty high mana cost ultimate. Orchid comes out from the Natures. Lil, he does use the Avalanche, but I don't think it's enough because of that tree block that was there. Perhaps too good. Oracle has a Quelling Blade, so good pickup there. Supports definitely should buy Quelling Blades. I heard somebody saying that the other day, and I think they're definitely right about that. Lil, he is looking for the toss. I think Puber can't really do anything. He does not have the ultimate to work with. Even leaving the kill for Lil here, who will steal it, because he's a very greedy position 4 player. Look at the damage from the Nature's Prophet ulti!
Yep.
Oh my god, with the Decrepify!
It does so much.
What a stupid ability. When that ability hits somebody on the last hit, it feels so dumb. It's like, that probably did...
like, oh, I was alive and then now I'm dead.
That probably did close to 1,000 damage to him with the Decrepify. That is seriously insane. 2 null tallies on Natures if you get that as well. Doesn't even need it though. Lil tosses in. Lil Pleb just putting on a little bit of pressure, but Sunlight, he wants to go in. Once again, just kind of pressuring, being annoying, saying, hey, you can't farm. We're gonna hit you. We're gonna try to kill you if you farm. Even this jungle camp that's very literally just on the low ground next to your tier 2, that is not a safe space for you. Taking up the enemy triangle, the enemy ancients. This is the best place to farm on the map if you have a lead.
With the Pugna at this point, I think we're going to see another tier 2 before 20 minutes.
Kellen's in. He saw the Pugna ward proc onto the Rubik, so he knows he's there. Orchid comes out. I don't think that's going to be enough damage to burst him. No way. No.
Yeah, Fairy Fire will definitely save him with the range drop.
Yeah, it's not enough. If he got the Pugna nuke off, probably. Man, Sunlight can just tank this. He doesn't care. Fort doesn't do much against a snowballing Timber like this. Sam has the hood, picks up the top rune. That's something. I don't know why that's still there after 50 seconds. Very happy about that.
I'm getting a little mood lining here in the studio. Everything just went dark. Much like Cyberium's hopes for this game, too. It's looking pretty dark.
Yeah.
Hey, at least we're going to be seeing a game 3.
Yeah.
So they got the tier 2 before 20 minutes, so at some point they're going to make that sweep over, take the outpost.
Look at this. Once again, Puber, man. He's just doing the things that No, okay, toss out on Rubik. Lil is, I don't even know who's flying through the air now. It
almost feels like Omegalil's coming into this with some vengeance, you know? They're like, you want to embarrass us like that, game 1? Okay, let's see how it is.
This is a different team. I don't know what's happening here. They're completely just, I mean, this is one of the biggest stomps that we've seen in the league, I think. And toss out comes onto the Timber. And by that, I mean he tosses into the Timber, who's silent, so he should pop from the Orchid. Rubik lifts back between the 2 racks, but nothing there to follow up the damage on Lil, who does have a bunch of mangoes. They have a mango tree. That's always very convenient when you're tiny. Centauri sitting in the trees. I don't think he has a blink at this point. So he's just going to ult in. Lil goes onto the Rubik, just one hits him just like that.
Oh, no.
Centaur. And with that damage from the Timber Saw, there's no way he can survive that with the Orchid. Percentage damage on percentage damage, man. It is not nice to deal with. That's a cool combo, too, with the trees. Extra whirling death damage.
Yeah, absolutely.
As if there wasn't enough. And Lil Pleb, he is finally headed into the enemy triangle, but for some reason, Malik, he knows that this is happening. He says, you don't get to farm, not even here. I think he's saving the Decrepify for the troll ulti.
Once the ultimate goes off.
And the Orchid comes out, and the Decrepify comes out, so just the kiting. Unfortunately,
Sprout
can't
is
use
so
ultimates.
good against Troll during his battle
Yes,
trance.
you cannot use items during the battle trance. Very annoying. I learned that the hard way the other day. I was playing Troll against a Nature's Prophet, and Shiva was flaming the shit out of me for not using my Quelling Blade. It's very,
Little did she know.
very rude, actually.
Yeah.
And then she threw cottage cheese at me.
I'm glad that you're able to attest to this because a lot of people don't believe. They think it's a myth, this Shiva behind the scenes, what she's actually like.
Oh, yeah.
She likes to put up a good face. And,
She does.
She looks like such a wholesome community figure. That's what she puts herself out to be. But the truth is, she's the mean queen. That's who Shiva is. Isn't that right, Lizard?
Her weapon of choice is...
I could see the look of fear in his eyes as soon as he heard the word Shiva.
Yeah.
Don't talk like that about the queen.
Hey, shut up, foot boy.
Yeah, get out of here, simp.
You foot stool.
Please help me.
His eyes are blood red. He has not slept all night. She's been depriving him of sleep, throwing cottage cheese at him with her feet. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying at this point. Lil, he's looking for the toss back.
I mean, you're the play-by-play caster.
Yes,
you
of course,
drive this car. So.
I'm just filling, okay, Lil? He sees Rubik. He wants to kill Chinese, I think, letters guy. Which you said, who is that, Alina?
Alita?
Alita? Alita. He wants to kill Alita on the Rubik Smart Grip sponsored. Tosses out the Centaur. Usually you wouldn't do that, but with the Timber Saw, it's enough damage. But the Oracle ulti comes out. Centaur walks back in and says, all right, I'm going to die. I'm going to do as much damage as I can. Man, the Whirling Death is so powerful. Even through the Oracle ult, it does damage. And they're going to take a second set of racks. I think there's literally no way for Cyberium to come back in this. Like, literally none.
I just don't know why Cyberium hasn't called it yet.
You're the analyst. How do they come back?
Pretty much diving fountains. That is their only hope. If they do dive fountain, they have one of the best fountain diving defenses, which is X marks the spot, right?
Yes, that's always something.
Pull them right back into the fountain, you know?
That's something you always have to plan for.
Yeah, so...
When
looks like they tried to plan for that. Unfortunately, Omegalil was wise to that strategy. It was really good awareness by them to read what the backup plan was for a Cyberium seed and just counter.